All right, let's ready to do this. Love it like a hater, man.
For
Nintendo Direct.
oh, I was like, for what? We haven't talked about anything yet. Yes.
I'm gonna run us down. We're gonna go in order. We're gonna start off with Bravely Default 2. We got the release date, February 26th, 2021. So we're about 4 months away from that. And we learned that they take they made a bunch of improvements from the demo's feedback, which I have to say, I thought the number was a little bit low for the survey. They said 20,000 people provided feedback, which I was expecting a higher number considering the hype behind the game. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
but it's like it's still that thing, to actually go and leave feedback or you know, remember to submit it or whatever. But I still think 20,000 is a significant amount.
Yeah, it's respectable. I guess my expectations are higher. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh. Bravely Default 2.
Like it because I'm not necessarily a fan, but I like that they are open to feedback, especially the part about the difficulty, which was expressed. They still made the effort to acquire those 20,000 people for, feedback and surveys and stuff, and they committed to a release date in February. So I'm gonna have to say like it.
I also like it. I feel that it's pretty much reimagining the classic Final Fantasy formula. You know, they're talking about the Heroes of Light, there's four crystals. It's like, oh, this is where my Final Fantasy went before it evolved into whatever Final Fantasy mainline has become.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't, did you play the original?
I did not, but I remember way back in the day Sean being excited for it. So
Hmm. I played the demo. It was okay. It didn't necessarily hook me to want to play it, but it looks promising. I can't say I am. It's one of those things I'm going to pick up at launch, but I would definitely look into it for the right price.
didn't the first one release on 3DS?
Yeah, that's also probably another reason I was like, I don't like playing RPGs on handheld. Oh no,
I don't like playing RPGs in general,
I
so
might have to
pass.
sneeze inside this mask too.
Please do so.
I
For the
really
love of God.
no. Next up, we have Story of Seasons, which was announced. Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town specifically was the release date of March 23rd, 2021. Basically, Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon if they had a kid with Animal Crossing. Love it like you hate it, man.
I'll give it another like, just
I
because
would
it's
also give
like,
it a like.
yeah, my girlfriend happened to come in when I was watching one of the trailers. I think it was for Story of Seasons. She's like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "That's a long ways away, but at least it's something else other than Animal Crossing." And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. Especially if as content slows down, or it's once you do it at the seasonal turn and that's it, then at least it gives something in the same vein, I guess.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, well, Animal Crossing players will have like if that is the type of game you love, it'll be nice to have something new to play.
Yeah, it seems
Um,
like it has a lot of depth to it. I don't know much, but
I think it's a little bit more. I look at Animal Crossing as more of a meditative game, but I feel the Harvest Moon Stardew Valley game mechanic is a little bit more rewarding. Like it requires a little bit more care and love to like really build up your farm, and it's usually less restrictive than Animal Crossing. So I think it's a like it. All right, next up we've got Survive. Oh yes, and by the way, everyone in the chat, please, if you're not already, follow along with giving us your own love it like a hater, meh. And Greg will give us the general feedback from the chat as I nominate him. Next up, we have Surviving the Aftermath, coming out spring 2021. I really did not care about this. Meh, strong meh for me.
yeah, same for me. I mean, how many games are going to come out that look like this?
And given the conditions of the world, bring on the happy-go-lucky games for me. I don't want to be playing in a dark world. It's supposed to be escapism. If I'm dressed up as Banana Fall Guys, I'm Team Yellow Fall Guys. I even had to take my banana stem down to
Yeah, and
get
I'm
the.
like with a lot of the chat on that. It was just kind of a big mess because I mean, if there's not somebody doing it like 2K or the team behind what was the Mutant Year Zero, all these other clone like type of games. It's like isometric RTS, whatever. Like I don't know, like those are cool PC games, but for the Switch, I don't think they do it much justice other than pad the library.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Next, we have Immortals Phoenix Rising. A reminder that it's coming out on the Switch December 3rd. We're about a month away from that. Got a bit more Switch footage shown. Love it, like it, hit it, or meh.
I'm gonna give it a like. I like what I played on Stadia, and that could be a decent Switch game.
I will give it a love it. This game I'm actually really
Oh,
looking forward to. And it kills me that I want it at launch because I know it's going to lose its value within a month. And I'm going to be the idiot that pays full price for it when everyone else is going to pay $20 for it. That I hate.
yeah, and I'm kind of with everybody on that too. Like, Trans in the chat, you want to see how it performs on the Switch. Like, I mean, we've played it on Stadia, but even the less hardware taxing games, like I'm always curious to see how they're going to perform on the Switch, and it not being one of the cloud games, like, buckle up.
Yeah, we shall see. Next up, we've got, or what's the chat saying? Just
They were wondering if you're a shy guy in a banana costume.
sure. Let's go with that. I'm a banana shy guy. That's next year's costume. Next, we got a reminder that Bakugan is the thing. Champions of Vestroia, coming out in 2 days. Coming out November 3rd. WayForward's good old Bakugan. Everyone remembers that reveal. Love it, like it, here, met.
I'm gonna go meh on it, even though places like Nintendo Enthusiast Brett have, were pretty surprised by it. But I mean, it does nothing for me.
It's a hate it for me. I don't care. I'd
I
rather
feel like
wait
that
for
team at WayForward could have done something
exactly. That's why it's a hate it.
remarkably different.
I would rather have seen WayForward be working on something else.
Not even worth a meh. Oh, that's pretty brutal.
Then we have, I'll admit, I watched the direct twice and I missed this entry. But our producer Treon, who has, by the way, shout out to Treon, who has gone from unofficial producer to producer because he's actually accepted the responsibility of providing topics. So let's give a little applause to Treon for dedicating some time to make the show better, and also shout out to him for he set up a Class vs. Crass gaming podcast clip channel on YouTube. Any chance you could grab that link, Greg, and share it in the chat? So if for whatever reason you don't want to watch two or three grown men talk about games for an hour all at once, Treon goes through the process of cutting up the episodes into bite-sized morsels so that you can just pick and choose what you listen to and what you watch. So that's available over. Actually, Treon, you could probably drop the link in there. So like if there's jokes in an episode or if there's interesting topics, he'll cut it up and put it there, and all props goes to him for that. I get props for thumbnail design. That's it. But anyways, the next game on this list that Tron provided is Grifflands, Nintendo Switch Edition, coming out summer 2021. Apparently, it's like some kind of deck building roguelike. I'm gonna give it a big meh because I don't even know what it is.
Yep, same here.
All right.
It had like some like flash animation art style, which was like kind of cool, but yeah, not for me.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Tropico 6 coming out this week. For those who don't know, it's pretty much like a Sim City of some kind, but in another part of the world. I don't know. It's a meh for me.
Yeah, it sucks because like I've reviewed it in the past, and it was actually like a decent, kind of comical take. It's a kind of a satire RTS game, like city building game. But I mean, I watched Sean's comments on it, and he said, it looked pretty rough, and I'll have to agree to that because it looked bland. The textures looked terrible, and I'm just like, all right, I guess it's coming regardless, and it sucks because games like City Skyline also exist and other stuff, but I'm gonna have to go meh on it.
I'm surprised they even made it to 6. this I picked up on this series I think when they were at 4 or 5. I grabbed number 3 for free somewhere, and I'm just like, what is this franchise that I've completely missed that apparently is successful enough to keep making new versions?
Yeah, last one I played was Tropico 4.
Mm.